Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Amber from Amber's Books and More, and today I have a book haul again, but I'm actually pretty proud of myself because I thought I was still doing bad, but I think I'm actually getting better at not buying as many books. So, but I do have a few, and actually have a couple of bookish items, sort of, that I want to talk about too. So let's just jump right in and get started. Okay, so the first book that I bought, so the first couple books are going to be like new releases. So I got A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third book in the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. I was going to pre-order this one, but I ended up going to Target and getting the special edition that has like a letter from the author inside, as well as our signature stamped on the outside of it. So I did. This is actually probably the only book that I went and picked up like on release day in the store since the last Harry Potter book, which is a long time. So I was really excited to get to this one. So the next book that I got was a pre-order, and I actually was upset because it didn't come until like 2 days after it released for some reason. Even though I have Amazon Prime, it's supposed to be guaranteed day of release. I don't know. But that was Dead Men Walking by Sherilyn Kenyon. I've already talked about, both of these in the last couple of videos that I've had, but I really enjoy this one. It's beautiful. It's got a really pretty naked cover. Yeah, so this is the first book in a new series by Sherilyn Kenyon called Dead Man's Cross, and it is kind of about these dead men pirate type, sort of. It's good. Okay? It's good. So the next book is not technically a new release, but it is. So this is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and while the book itself is not a new release, they did just recently release the paperback edition that I really enjoy seeing the paperback. Like on smaller books, I seem to more enjoy the paperbacks rather than the big hardbacks. So I've already read this one as well. It messed up my head. Some of these books you will see that is on this video is in my May wrap-up, so I will leave that linked up above. Check that out and you can see what I really thought about some of these books. So the next new release that I have is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I got this free through Book of the Month Club, and I really like how they have kind of like their own little Book of the Month Club books. It even says I love Book of the Month Club in the back with books we love, and even the hardback itself is stamped with Book of the Month Club. That's really cool because it's kind of like, even though it's not like a special cover like Owlcrate is doing, it is kind of personalized in a way that you can remember. One thing I do like is that all of the Book of the Month Club books are like the same height, so that's really cool. But I have not read this one yet. I plan to read this one in June. So that one was one that I got free for using the code WATER at checkout during when I joined Book of the Month Club, and I was able to get that book free. But the actual book that I picked for my monthly pick for Book of the Month Club, my first month, was also a new release, and it's called The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich, and this is kind of a spy novel. It's about these two boys that are basically raised and trained in this spy organization, and it's their job to go after this girl and have her fall in love with one of them, because one is like the stereotypical bad boy, the other one is the stereotypical good guy, and the one that doesn't get her to fall in love ends up dying. That's their mission in life. But then they kind of start to fall in love with each other, so I'm excited to read this one in the month of June. So my next new release is also one that's not technically a new release, but the paperback is a new release, and that is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I really like this cover. I wanted to buy this, but then when I saw this paperback cover, I just had to have it. So I'm excited to get to this one. This will be my very next book that I read after the one that I will show you in just a minute. But this is beautiful, and I love it so much. So the next newer release that I have, I think this is the last one that is like a new type release, and it is The One Memory of Flora Banks. This one came out in May by Emily Barr. It's about a girl that cannot remember anything. She basically has like brain damage, and her memory resets every so many minutes, I believe, or so many hours, I can't remember. But and then she just ends up having this one memory of herself kissing her best friend's boyfriend or her sister's boyfriend, something like that. and she's trying to figure out why is that she now has that one memory when she can't remember anything else. And this has like a 51st Dates vibe to me, and so I'm definitely excited to see what the author does with this type of story. So that's it for the newer type releases, but the next book that I picked up is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and this is just the dust jacket because this is the book that I'm currently reading. So I bought this at the same time that I bought Carry On because I wanted to read this one first. And I really enjoy it so far. I really like Kath. I think she's a very sweet character and she's precious, and I want to like give her a big hug. And I'm definitely going to pick up Carry On right after this one because I was under the impression that there was a lot of like Carry On and stuff in this book, but really it's just like a little one-page snippets every couple chapters or so. But I definitely really enjoy it so far. We'll see how I feel at the end of it. Alright, so the next book that I picked up is because Julie over at Pages and Pens is it is like her very favorite series, and I wanted to give it a try, and that is Dead Witch Walking by Kim Harrison. And this is the first book of the Hollow series, and this I believe it was like 15 or so books in the series, which I love paranormal romances that have like tons of books in the series like this. So I'm not very far in. I'm only like 100 pages or so in, and I'm reading it slowly along with the other books because I'm really enjoying it. But it's really good so far, and I really love the character of Jinx. He's like a little like pixie fairy, and this is really good so far. So I'm definitely excited to keep reading this in the month of June. So the next book that I picked up was for the Jovan Librarians Book of the Month Club in the month of May, and that was The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. This has a lot of mixed reviews, even within the Jovan Librarians Book Club, but I thought it was about 3.5 to 4 star review book, so I enjoyed it. I thought it was decent. So the next book I picked up randomly at Half Price Books because I've heard of it a few times, and it's a bind up. So it's the Scott Westerfeld Uglies and Pretties together, and so it's the first 2 books. I don't know if it's just 2 books in the series or I don't know, but it's a big bind up, and I'm excited to get to it soon because it seems, ooh, that's like a face. I never noticed that that's like a face in there. That's creepy. But I'm excited to get to that one of these days. So the next book I picked up was also randomly picked up at Half Price Books because it caught my eye, the name of it and everything, and this is actually on my June TBR for Emoji-a-thon, and I'm excited to get to it because I've heard some really good reviews about it, and it is a Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, book 1 of the All Souls trilogy. That is exciting. I didn't realize this was a trilogy, but I really think that I'm going to love it because I love witches, so yeah. Okay, so the last 4 books are a part of a series. I've already hauled the first book of the series and read this in the month of May, and I was excited to go ahead and pick up the rest of the series. And it is book 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin, or as a lot of people call it, the Game of Thrones series, because the first book is Game of Thrones. So I picked up book 2, which is A Clash of Kings, which, as you can see, I am currently reading. I'm listening to it on audiobook and then following along in the book a little bit. So this is book 2, Clash of Kings. And then I have book 3, Storm of Swords. I love these covers, by the way. Even though I don't normally like the mass market, these are really well made, and I really enjoy the covers on these. This is book 4, A Feast of Crows. These are just gorgeous. And this is book 5, Dance with the Dragons. And book 6 is supposed to come out sometime this year or next year. It's been a few years, but I have a lot to get to. And one thing too that I'll say is, like, if you look at, let me get these in order. I really like the way that these look like on the spines and everything. I really think that's really cool. So that's all the books that I picked up recently. I also did pick up A Small Way to an Angry Planet, I believe it's called. That is the June Jovan the Librarian's book pick, but I bought it from Book Depository because the American cover is horrific. So it is on its way to me. So I'm going ahead and count that one as this book haul. So I'm not going to haul it again in another book haul because I am on a book buying ban, and unless it is a new release that I'm super excited about, I have to put a stop because I need to read all my TBR. So that's all I have for you today. leave me a comment down below and let me know if you have any of these books and if you enjoyed them. Okay, so that is all for the books that I purchased. Now let me get on to a few bookish items that I purchased or received in the recent history. I don't know what to call it. But the first one is I went down to Galveston on vacation and I saw this randomly in a bookshop and I needed to have it, and it is a feather pen set. So it's basically a quill set. So it has like a feather quill, then it has a wooden quill, and it has different tips, and it also comes with some ink, and I haven't actually used it yet because I'm scared of messing it up, but I really like it. I think it's really cool, and I am happy that I have it, and I think I need to maybe get some kind of a I don't know, like a shadow box or something to kind of display this in, because it's really pretty. Whoops, it's really pretty, and I'm excited that I have it. So the next thing I actually got from a publisher. So whenever Tor, especially whenever they release books, they have a lot of these like giveaways and things if you pre-order a book. So with the one I have, Sherilyn Kenyon, Dead Men Walking, I pre-ordered that, and so I got this in the mail the other day, and it is basically the cover art, and then it is signed by Sherilyn Kenyon. I mean, it's just beautiful. I am definitely going to frame this and put it on the wall. I think that it is gorgeous and I love it. And yeah, so until next time, have a great day wherever you are, and I love you. Bye.